If you've been running Unraid for a while, you already know the USB flash drive has basically been part of the Unraid experience forever. But now, with Unraid 7.3, that finally changed. You can now boot Unraid from an internal SSD or an NVMe drive, instead of relying entirely on a USB stick. And honestly, this is something people have wanted for years. In this video, I'm going to show you how to migrate from the traditional USB boot device to the new internal boot setup in Unraid 7.3. What hardware you need, the requirements you need to know before starting, and a couple of things that can absolutely trip people up during the migration. And trust me, there are a few things you'll want to understand before clicking that migrate button. Before we actually migrate anything, let's quickly talk about what this is. Traditionally, Unraid has always booted entirely from a USB flash drive. That USB handled the bootloader, the OS files, and the licensing. But now, Unraid 7.3 introduces internal boot. This allows Unraid to boot from an SSD drive or an NVMe drive. You can use mirrored boot devices, and it modernizes the entire boot process. Now, technically, you can even remove the USB drive entirely. But for most people, I honestly recommend keeping that USB plugged in for licensing for now. I'll explain why in a minute. Before doing this migration, there are a few requirements. Your system should support UEFI boot. Most modern systems already do. But if you're running older hardware or recycled enterprise hardware or very old motherboards, you should verify this first. To check, reboot your server, enter the BIOS, and then look for UEFI boot, boot mode, or CSM settings. Ideally, UEFI should already be enabled and legacy BIOS boot should be disabled if possible. For the new internal boot device, you'll want a small SSD or an NVMe drive. A small SSD is more than enough for internal boot. Unraid itself uses very little storage. So personally, I'd avoid ultra cheap SSDs, random no-name drives, or old failing drives you found in a drawer. This boot device is still important for overall server reliability. If you're looking for a couple of good drive options, I'll link a Kingston 120GB SSD down in the description. And if your system supports NVMe, I'll also link a Samsung 970 EVO NVMe drive that would work great for this setup as well. Both are solid, reliable options for an internal boot device. Now this is very important. Do not use an active array drive, your existing cache drive, or a drive with important data already on it, unless you've already moved that data off, because during the setup, the selected drive will be erased. Now technically, you can reuse an existing internal drive in some situations. I know Ed over at Space Invader 1 or the Uncast show did a really good video covering some of these more advanced migration methods. But personally, for most users, I think using a dedicated SSD or an NVMe drive is a safer and simpler option, especially if this is your first time working with internal boot. Before changing anything, back up your current Unraid flash drive. To do that, we're going to go over to the main tab. We'll find boot devices down here. You'll find your boot flash, click on it, and then you'll click boot device backup. Let it create the backup, then download the zip file somewhere safe. Seriously, don't skip this step. If something goes wrong, this is your rollback plan. If this is your main production server, I'd also recommend backing up your app data and backing up your VMs. If you already use the app data backup plugin, now is a great time to run a backup before continuing. Now this next part is important because there are actually two different ways to use the internal boot. Option one is an internal boot with USB licensing. This is what I recommend for most people. Here's how it works. Unraid boots from the SSD or the NVMe drive. The USB basically becomes a license key instead of the actual boot device. The benefits here are safer migration, easier rollback, no TPM requirements, and it's a simpler overall setup. Honestly, this is probably the sweet spot right now. Option two is a full internal licensing. This removes the USB device entirely, but your system needs TPM 2.0 support, compatible hardware, and you'll migrate the license internally. This is newer, and personally, I'd let this mature a bit before moving my primary production server fully away from USB licensing. All right, let's actually get this done. Inside Unraid, we're gonna go over to our main tab. From here, you'll scroll all the way down. Under array operation, you're gonna need to stop your array. So go ahead and click stop, and then proceed. We'll let everything shut off and get the array stopped. Depending on the speed of your system, this can take a few seconds to a couple minutes, depending what you've got running. I'll let this finish up, and I'll be right back. Once your array is stopped, we'll scroll down a bit. We're looking for boot device. Down below that heading, you should find internal boot. Then over to the right, you should have no internal boot setup detected. Launch internal boot to configure one. Go ahead and click on that link. Here you'll see that it's only available when the array is stopped. Your array should be stopped now, so go ahead and hit Open Wizard. From here, we're going to select Use Storage Drive or Drives to boot Unraid. Down below, it'll give you some more details saying the entire device will be used exclusively for booting. Last line here, all selected devices will be formatted. It's very important. All the data on that disk is going to be gone, so make sure you select the right one here. We'll scroll down a little bit. Under Pool Settings, we'll leave this on the dedicated boot pool. Below there, boot devices. How many devices do you have? I just have one. Next option, device 1. Which device is this? So let's drop down here and select the available drive. You'll see here I've got a 1 terabyte drive and a 60 gigabyte drive. I'm going to use the 60 gig drive just because it's a lot smaller. No sense in wasting a bunch of drive space if you don't need to. Make sure that Update BIOS boot order is selected. We may need to change this later, but for now, select that and then click Continue. At this point, we just sit back and hopefully relax. Now this is where a lot of people may run into issues. Your motherboard may change the boot order or create a new UEFI entry or just try booting from the wrong device. If Unraid does not boot correctly, go into your BIOS, locate the new SSD or the NVMe drive under your boot options, and move it to the top of the boot order. This is very common on lots of systems out there, Dells, HPs, Lenovo's, and pretty much every motherboard out there. There you go, it's complete. Internal boot pool has been configured. BIOS boot entry has been updated and completed successfully. At this point, just go ahead and click Reboot in the bottom right corner. Now we'll just sit back and let it reboot, and I'll be back when it's back up. When it boots back up, go ahead and log in. There we go. Now if you look under the main tab, under boot pool, you'll find internal boot, and it is detected and running. And for those of you that are eagle-eyed, you may have noticed that this drive here is different than what I started with. That's because the original drive that I used, I didn't heed my own advice, and I grabbed something random that I had out of my stash, and it failed. So there you go. Live and learn, right? So I grabbed another drive that I have, an ADATA, 120 gig, 128 gig in this case. I did scan it, make sure everything was good first before putting it back in. Put it in, ran the same internal boot wizard, and it just worked. This is the demo machine. It's not my production machine. That one's definitely getting a brand new drive. All right, back to the video though. So at this point, you're officially running Unraid from internal storage. One of the biggest advantages of internal boot is that you can now mirror your boot devices, meaning that you can have two different devices acting as redundancy for each other. That'll give you the boot redundancy plus better reliability. This is a massive improvement over relying on single USB flash drives alone, especially for production servers. So should everyone switch right away? Honestly, if your current USB setup is stable, reliable, and working perfectly fine, you probably don't need to rush this immediately, but this is clearly the direction Unraid is moving going forward. In long term, I think most users will eventually end up on internal boot. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe. We cover all kinds of Unraid content here, from beginner guides to self-hosted apps to server upgrades and Homelab projects like this one. Also, if you want help avoiding common Unraid setup mistakes, grab my free Unraid starter pack down in the description. If you want early access to videos, ad-free content, and supporter-only posts, then check out the Patreon link below. As always, thanks for watching.